everybody, Dawn Kendrick here with some good news. And the good news is that you're only going to hear good news here. I am a repurposed news reporter, and I am finally doing the stories that have been burning in my heart for so long. They're stories that uplift, encourage, and inspire, and they are real, and they're raw, and they're vulnerable. They're the good stuff stories. And we see it over and over again that through it all, through the middle of our biggest challenges, together we can, together we will. Let's go see the good and be the good. On your mark, get set. Let's go. Hey, y'all. Coming to you with a pop-up good stuff story for you today. Sort of, actually, if we could encourage you, whatever is on your mind today, like, should I do that? I'll put it on the to-do list. Here's what happened. When we say God weaves, now watch him work. A friend of ours, Brian Wolf, mentioned a great story. Camp Promise is what we're bringing to you today. And they need some volunteers. It was on the to-do list. They need the volunteers by a week from tomorrow, by Wednesday. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's do it. All of the other pre-production stuff by the wayside, and we're just bringing it to you. Like we say, our stories are real, raw, genuine, authentic, and vulnerable. That's how we're coming to you today, because the message is fantastic. And if you end this next 20 minutes or 30 minutes with an appreciation of how you really can see the good and be the good for others, then we have succeeded. So thank you for joining us. I will mention, if you're watching on YouTube, would you click subscribe? Share. We're just so grateful. We are growing. We're growing the Good Stuff Family Tree 2023. And it's effective because of this very thing, the way that we know God weaves. Now watch him work. So I'm about to introduce you to some fantastic friends. We go way back, like 30 seconds, like right before we started, some of them. But again, some people, you don't need to see their faces to already know their hearts and souls when you know what they're doing. So I'm going to bring in Jackie. Hold on one moment. Hi, Jackie.
Hi, Dawn.
Hey, so we pulled this off. Tell us a window when what you're looking for are volunteers, and it's a great opportunity not only for campers at Camp Promise, but for the volunteers as well. Tell us a little bit about it.
Exactly. So, of directing the Ohio Camp Promise Retreat, it is a program for young adults 18 and over who have muscular dystrophy. And we give them a weekend retreat where they can get together with friends, do regular camp activities, and learn about new things and skills. So we work on hobbies and different educational sessions, but just a great opportunity to get these young adults together and give them the support they need. And I know you're rolling some great pictures from last year's camp. For every camper that we take to camp, they have their own volunteer. And that volunteer is pushing a wheelchair, taking that fish off the hook, helping in the dining hall if they need help with, getting set up for meals, helping with some personal care. They are really just the arms and legs of our camping program. And so we're here today because we need a couple more volunteers for our camp here in Ohio, which starts on July 5th. So again, we're here just to talk about that and hope we can get some help. But Camp Promise is run through the Jet Foundation, and they offer camps in Pennsylvania, Arizona, the Rockies in Colorado, and Washington already had their camp. And so opportunities exist not just here in Ohio, but in the other states too. And so we definitely want to get the word out and share the opportunity with everyone. And hopefully, people will jump in and get involved. We just need a couple more volunteers here in Ohio. And I'm hoping that, through our reach here today, we can find those volunteers and be ready and set for camp next week.
And it's at the Akron Rotary Camp, correct?
Correct. So we rent Akron Rotary's camp in a partnership. They have a fully accessible campground, and those were in the pictures that you saw. So everything's accessible by a wheelchair. We have big wide doorways and ramps to get into things. We have a ramp to get on the boat when we go boating. So it just gives us the opportunity and the freedom for our campers to experience regular camp activities, but in a setting that's just accessible to them. And it's a great partnership we have with them also.
Yes, and we could say that you can find all of that online, camppromise.org. But the what we love are the people stories within that. So I'm going to bring in Amelia Wong right here. Hi, Amelia.
Hi, Dawn.
Yeah, so you've been camping, you've been to this camp. Would you share with us what it is for you and what you've actually contributed to that camp?
Yeah, so I'm a camper at Camp Promise. I think this is my third or fourth year involved with the camp. It is my favorite part of the summer and actually part of the year. It's just an amazing experience. So as I said, I'm a camper there. I'm a wheelchair user. I take part in all of the activities that they have, whether that be boating, campfires, educational and hobby sessions. It's really just a great time. And actually, last year, I was given the opportunity to do my own hobby session there. So I was able to bring in information about creating a YouTube channel, which I do. I have a YouTube channel, and I was able to make a little pamphlet and just tell everyone about that experience. So I was able to contribute to the really personal experience about camp and to give a little bit of an educational piece as well.
Yeah, would you tell me more? As always, when you have a good stuff story, inevitably there's a story below, a story within that's also good stuff, good stuff. Would you give us a little window into that YouTube channel that you have? And I love the name, very clever.
Of course, thank you. So my YouTube channel, I started it, I think 3 or 4 years ago. It's called Meals on Wheels, but the meals is spelled Meels for Amelia, and wheels because I'm a wheelchair user, so it's kind of a play on words. But I started the YouTube channel just because I didn't really see a lot of other wheelchair users making channels, and I just wanted to kind of be that person, take that step, and to have audience members, both wheelchair users and not, to really take a look into what it's like to live a life as a wheelchair user. So I have some videos that I have on the channel. My most popular one is a day in the life, which really just like walks the viewer through what it's like for accessibility and what I need help with throughout the day. I also have more fun videos like with my service dog Penny. I take her to the store. I have a video about that. And it's really just kind of educational in a way, but I also try to make it fun and try to tell the viewer or show them at least that being in a wheelchair isn't so bad and there's a lot of fun that comes along with it.
And can you tell us just a sentence or two, why? Why the wheelchair? Why do you need the wheelchair?
So I have a form of muscular dystrophy. I was born with it. It's a genetic condition. And basically, what it means is my muscles get weaker over time. So I started using a wheelchair user when I was 3 or 4, and I've been using it ever since. So it really is just normal life to me. And that's kind of what I try to convey in my channel.
Amelia, and that is the good stuff. That's it. It's all of us in our authenticity, being our best selves. And we say taking the next step. In your case, you don't physically even have to take a next step. Look at all the people that you're reaching by doing the next best thing, and through a YouTube channel. So I feel like we could even maybe do a whole story just on you and have your poochie and maybe we could do that in the coming weeks too, to give an example of the types of campers that are present at this camp.
Thank you. Yeah, that'd be a great opportunity.
I would love it. So I'm going to bring in Alexa Tinsley now because the camp doesn't just happen. By the way, Jackie, who you heard from earlier, volunteer. These are people with full-time jobs that make another almost full-time job because they believe in the power and the purpose of this camp. So probably no one gets that better than Alexa Tinsley. Hello, Alexa. Oh, I think maybe is your mic muted? One
I'm
moment,
back. I'm
please.
here. I'm
Oh,
here.
you're back. It's all good. It's all good. Real, raw, genuine, authentic, and vulnerable. On this end, the production is sometimes too. But I'm so glad to meet you because, again, go ahead and just introduce yourself, what it is, and why you believe so much in the JET Foundation, which is the foundation for Camp Promise.
Absolutely. So I am Alexa Tinsley. I am the director of programs for Jet Foundation. I have been a part of the rare disease space for a very long time. I started volunteering at camp when I was 16. And one of the reasons that I love not only Camp Promise, but Jet Foundation in general is we really, as a foundation, try to meet people where they're at. So, camp is one of those things. And she's showing the Jet Giving Fund. One of the things that drew me to Jet is their direct service programming. And so those include our Jet Giving Fund, which is we have two arms, an accessible vehicle fund and also an emergency fund. And then our Camp Promise program as well. So we're able to really meet families where they're at, make sure that we are able to serve the families now. Research is absolutely important, but we also have to make sure that we're providing services to those living with the disease now. So that is why I believe so much in Jet Foundation and our Camp Promise and Jet Giving Fund programs.
And it really is families. We're not talking about just individuals who
Correct.
are warrioring through challenges, physical challenges, but rising above. And I want to mention the names of a couple families I know. Karen and Brian Wolf are the ones who introduced me. Even in fact, that's how Jackie and I met. Was at a fundraiser that they do, and as well as Jen Dum and her family and John Owen. These are just names in Northeast Ohio. And I know how effective they are. People get it. The power of one. They end up being such great soundboards and from experience, and they are leading by example. So all of you are collectively doing such great things. So we only need, I'm going to bring Jackie back in here. We'll only need a few more volunteers, correct?
That is
Okay, tell me more about that, the two of you.
That is true. So Ohio's at a point where we're looking for 2 females and 4 males to fill out our camping volunteer needs for next week. I'm super excited about that. We have been building our Jet community for the last couple of years. So this year we're welcoming campers from down in Cincinnati and the Columbus area, whereas the first couple of years we were just servicing Northeast Ohio. So we're kind of expanding. We have volunteers coming from the Cincinnati area. So really you can live anywhere and come join us at camp for the week. Our volunteers come in on Wednesday, July 5th. And we do an orientation and training. And so I always like to tell people, if you've never worked with someone with a disability, do not be afraid. Do not be, fearful that you won't be able to do it. We are here to support and teach people how to be great volunteers. And so we do a full day of orientation and training. And then our campers arrive on Thursday. And then it's fun-filled camp stuff. They're separated by cabin groups. We do a color wars. We go boating every morning. We have fishing. There's the animal nature center. We have arts and crafts activities, sports, and a huge ropes course. And so we spend our evening sometimes doing some silly games. I know you saw the picture of the cash cab game last year. We had a great time last year doing different TV station type theme. And then this year they're doing more of a whodunit. So more of like a murder mystery and a lot of trivia mixed in there also. We've got some pretty smart campers with us and very inspirational campers. Amelia's going to be a freshman at OSU in the fall. I have camper who's written a book that he published and sells through Amazon. We have campers who have got various degrees in computer science and marketing. And so our young adults are truly growing to be very prosperous and beneficial members in our community. And we just want to support them. And in order to do that, we need to offer camp and we need everyone's help to make that happen.
The truth is, as I sit here listening to you, like Amelia, I could use you. I could lean into you as a mentor as we're trying to get this page shared on YouTube. And I just keep taking the next best step. And so, yeah, it's also, I know that you're allowing them to do virtual activities this year, the wish list, right, of jumping out of a plane. And these are camps that are good in ways beyond your traditional kind of camp, right? I'm going to let the two of you kind of chat this out.
That's kind of true. So one of the questions we ask everyone is what's on their bucket list? What's one thing if money and physical limitations weren't imposed, what would you like to do? And the campers, we had several who said, I would love to go skydiving. And so this year for camp, we have rented 6 virtual reality consoles. And our campers are going to get to go skydiving, climb Mount Everest, spacewalk, roller coasters, flying an airplane, just all really cool things that do have limitations in everyday life. And yet here at camp, we can give them those opportunities. And I'll kind of let Amelia share, like what her favorite parts of camp are, because truly camp is such a magical experience for the campers and for those of us privileged to work and volunteer in the camp too.
It really is. Yeah, Jackie. I'm really excited for that now that you mention it. Yeah, that's just one of the many things that we do at camp. I have to say one of my most favorite things is the ropes course that the camp has. It's adaptive, so like I can use it even as a wheelchair user, and we get to go up like pretty high and just like go on these ropes courses and like do sort of a zip line thing. So that's definitely one of my favorite parts. And really just like the community too is just huge. Just being able to go for a couple nights and just like spend time with other people who can relate to me and make sure that all of my needs are being met. It's really just amazing.
Yeah, I think that's an important thing too. Not only does it give our campers that opportunity to get together, but for families who provide care year round, it gives them a break. It gives them that couple days where we have families going on vacations. They're visiting with other family members, just kind of getting out and doing things that they might not otherwise do. So, camp is just such a great opportunity for all. And last year, I'm looking at the photo you're showing, our guys wanted to watch the Browns preseason game. And so we figured out how to stream it in and we had a watch party right at camp. It was pretty impromptu, but, we say campers for our campus for our campers. And we like to give them the opportunity to tell us what the programming should be. What are the things that they want to do or would like to do or would like to learn about. And so we have several Zoom sessions that start in January, and we kind of all get together on Zoom and just kind of brainstorm camp. What would the great activities be, and what do we want to do this year and learn about? And then also, Jet Foundation hosts game nights. So campers from across the country get together almost once a month for these cool game nights. They're trivia game nights and just different contests, but chances really to make new friends. And I think that's an important thing. You're expanding your circle of who you know and who you do things with.
I'm going to tell you something, like these are the people I want to be friends with. The circle that you want to keep close are these people who are just kicking butt, like, and I know that we say this all the time. It's differently abled, however you want to say it. The fact is, there's a huge part of ability in these friends of ours who get around differently or think differently, and they're on point in ways that a lot of us aren't. These Down syndrome friends of mine, they hug longer, they forgive quicker, they work hard, and so I am giving two thumbs up and so much love and so much hope and so much promise, prayers as well to what you're all doing. I think it's fantastic for showing us the abilities in the individual disabilities, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do want to just say one thing. Jackie did mention, we do have camps across the country. So, she did say we need volunteers in Ohio. But if for some reason those camp dates don't work for you, we are in huge need of volunteers also at our Camp Promise East in Pennsylvania. So not super far. We have about 40 campers and we have about 20 volunteers. So we're definitely looking for some volunteers there if Ohio does not work for you.
Right, because it's one-on-one, right?
It is, yes. So
Okay.
sometimes even 2 to 1, depending on the needs. So there are sometimes 2 volunteers to 1 camper if their needs require that.
Okay. Anything else that anyone wants to add? Maybe each of you want to say where we can find each of you.
Yeah, so I do want to say, like I said, I've been volunteering. Like you said, it's a community that you never really get away from. I've been volunteering for camp for individuals with neuromuscular disorders for a very long time. And like Jackie said, you don't need to be experienced. I was 16. There was no real life experience. And, they train you and there's help there for you every step of the way. But it's a life-changing experience. Ohio was my first 18 plus camp last year. And it was an experience I will never forget. And I will be going back this year. So I'm very excited for that. But it is truly life-changing, and I recommend anyone who is willing and able definitely be a part of it. So you can find me if anybody has questions about Jet Foundation programs. My email is alexa@jetfoundation.org. Super easy. So please feel free to reach out.
Thank you, Alexa. And let's just say just a minute or two also about the research that's happening, y'all, for Duchenne. It's fantastic. These, like the Wolf family is perfect living example of how they're making inroads, and it's all because of people taking the next best step for fundraising, et cetera. So check that out as well. I know that the Jet Foundation has a vehicle program, right, for people. I mean, you're just doing great things, tangible, hands-on good stuff. So I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for all of you. Can't promise Jackie.org.
Correct. So the website to find the application, and you can apply for any of the camps across the country there. So if you're interested in Pennsylvania, like Alexa said, you could apply there also at camppromise.org. I can be reached directly at jackie@jetfoundation.org. So, and again, another simple email address. I suggest, if anyone's just even thinking about Ohio or has other questions about Ohio, please reach out soon. There is an application process, so we're going to have to get you through the paperwork piece, which I will help you do. But really think about it. Can you give a few days of your time to help other people? That's what we're looking for. And so hopefully we'll make some matches here and find our last couple of volunteers through the good stuff today.
And I would argue not just to help other people, but, as volunteers would attest, to come away helping yourself with a happy heart, because just meeting you guys uplift, encourage, and inspire. And that's what y'all are doing. Amelia, quickly, I'm going to mention your YouTube page one more time where people can find you.
Thank you. Yes, I have Meals on Wheels. And also, if you have Instagram, I'm at Meals on Wheels 33, spelled like the channel, MEELS. So if you want to reach me, you can find me there. And I just want to say thank you, Dawn, for having me today and us at Camp Promise. This is really just a great experience. If you are anyone out there listening, thinking about volunteering for this, as I said, it's my favorite part of the summer and the year. And I mean, it's a great experience for everyone around. So if you're thinking about it, then please reach out.
What a beautiful soul spokesperson you are, from having been there and for leading by example. And I'm sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, so grateful to meet you. I will be leaning into you for some pointers on social media. Whether you didn't really offer, but I'm go ahead and volunteering yourself.
Happy.
I love it. I love so much what you're doing. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. We end each one of these by saying, see the good and be the good. It's so easy. It just takes one person to start. Take the next best step. See the good and be the good. On your mark, get set. Let's go. God bless you. This has been a Grassroots Good Stuff family production. Big love and gratitude to our friend Carlos Jones, who is the talented voice and creator behind this music that sets the tone for these good stuff stories. Huge gratitude and love as well for our social media director. She is Danielle Folk and is consistently going above and beyond. Follow her at Farmhouse Storyteller. And to the producer, My Trevi, the glue that holds together the moving parts of this God-inspired endeavor. TheGoodStuffFamily.com is where you'll find links for all the things we're doing, including how to be a sponsor of a story. So grateful for our faithful sponsors who have already made so much of what we do possible. And of course, big love and gratitude for you, the listeners, helping to grow this Good Stuff family tree 2023. Welcome to the family.